We talk about this so often that football is a team game and team efforts win you matches, but we can't neglect the importance of individual brilliances. Southampton and QPR had a similar playing style in this match. They both wanted to keep the ball, move it around and create an opening. But I think the only difference was in the quality both teams possessed. If QPR was the basic version, then perhaps Southampton can be called the more advanced version. QPR were more slow and were more basic. Southampton, on the other hand, were more adventurous and moving the ball more freely. I think the strikers played an important role in this match. The strikers of Southampton, or perhaps the wingers, they were pacey and they were able to slip past the QPR defence. There were so many runs down the channels by the Southampton wingers, but they were accompanied by offsides. So this kind of stretched the QPR defence, and it was difficult for them to deal with. QPR strikers, on the other hand, did not have the pace of the Southampton strikers, and the way they positioned themselves was quite different. The Southampton strikers would just be right off the shoulder of the QPR defences, whereas the QPR strikers, they would be standing in front of the Southampton defenders. So slipping past the centre back or slipping past the defence was not an option for the QPR strikers, because they knew they were never going to get past them. Yeah, the first goal Southampton scored, it was not a typical run by Bertrand. I mean, most of the time you see the fullback overlapping the striker or the winger or the midfielder from the outside. But this time Bertrand came down the inside, and this created a whole new dimension to the Southampton attack. There was a huge gap between the right back of QPR and the centre backs, and Bertrand just dropped straight through that gap, got the ball and just blasted it home. You see, that was the willingness of the fullbacks to get forward and contribute in attack. You never know when the team is going to get another chance. Until Southampton scored, there was not much threat of QPR attacking, let alone scoring. And even after Southampton scored, there wasn't much of a real threat. But then again, one moment of individual brilliance. Hewlett was down the left wing and he just dribbles across the face of the box. No defender left his position to get a tackle, and Hewlett just wiped past them, and then he got on the edge of the right side of the penalty box, just placed the ball inside the box. Across came to Charlie Austin, who produced a fantastic first touch to control the ball and just scored it with his second touch. But credit to Southampton, when the opposition scores so late on and they are full of confidence, the team who scored first usually suffers a setback and just sits back in their own half. But Southampton had no similar ideas, and they said, oh, right, now we'll go for another goal. And now Pele produced a moment of brilliance. A similar goal scored by Charlie Austin, but perhaps more athletic. And given the context of the match and how it panned out, QPR did not create enough chances to score a second goal, whereas Southampton could have easily gotten 3 or maybe 4 more on the counter attacks they had in the last few minutes. Only they lacked the clinical finish.